Let's start off by answering a simple question. What does Iron Man, Harry Potter, Dungeons and Dragons, Halo, Fallout, soccer, Stranger Things have to do with each other? If the question is somewhat confusing, well, let me shed some light on the answer. A company called Displate is making three-dimensional plates that you can display on your wall, hence the name, and we've convinced them to let us showcase a few of them for you. I'm Ron Burke, Editor-in-Chief for Gamingtrend.com. I am super excited to open this package and show you what's inside. Before we open this, I'm going to slide these things out of the way a little bit, but you'll see why they come back in just a little while. The plates come in this cardboard box that is heavily reinforced. And comes with some instructions on how to display it on the wall. And immediately, for fans of Dungeons and Dragons, you're going to see why I brought my player's handbook. The newest Dungeons and Dragons player's handbook, if you manage to get your hands on the collector's edition, well, it has some amazing artwork. Yeah, I'm going to pop up what the original looked like. Maybe that wouldn't look as good on your wall, depending on your age, I suppose. But the newest ones are pretty awesome and pretty stylized. And the team at Displate has worked with Wizards of the Coast to put that directly on their plates. We're going to get this out of the plastic in just a moment, but we'll set this first one aside. The second one I asked them to send, well, that explains the stack of Iron Man comics. Now I will find the one that matches this and match it up with something on the screen, but we're gonna get that out of the plastic in just a moment. And they were also kind enough to send a 30% off coupon that I'm gonna keep for myself, I'm not gonna lie, and also a cleaning wipe to help clean off the display. So let's get all this cardboard out of the way, and then we'll take a look at the mounting and get a closer look at these plates. Unlike the other art that you might see in my tabletop space, which I'll show you here in just a moment, this is something that I'm expecting people to put their hands on. There is a very tactile experience to be had with the raised parts of the display, just all through it. This filigree is pretty cool. There's just all these accents all throughout it that I can just expect people are gonna put their hands on. So I guess this is gonna be the use of the cleaning wipe here. This is specifically for mounting, but I will definitely have to reach out to Displate and ask them how best to clean this, because I know people are going to put their hands on it. Flipping it over, the question becomes how to mount it. So this is metal, obviously, and there's no mount points that you can see. That's where these protective leaves and magnets come in. So these are going to stick. You'll peel this off of this backing, and you'll place that onto the display, and then these are going to adhere to, other way, to the wall, and then stick to that spot there, which is going to lock it in place. This, even through that protective leaf, is very hard to remove, so this should stick and stay. The nice part is they've smartly included two, so that way you can ensure that it's going to stay put however you want to mount this. Some displates are meant to be done horizontally, whereas this one's obviously vertical, so you can throw both of them on and ensure that it stays put. Now let's talk about the QR code. We're going to pull up this QR code, which is why it's slightly out of focus right now, because I want it to focus on my phone. We're going to bring up the displate side. Every displate has a story. Enter your displate reference number. Well, the reference number is all the way at the very top, I think. And we're going to punch that in. Here we see info about the plate, including the artist's name, color palette used, what collection, size, weight, and even the print date. It's pretty nifty. Now, I don't claim to have every Iron Man comic, not even close to it, but near as I can tell, this is a Mark III armor from, well, it's not exactly this, and I also wouldn't be whipping it around if it was Tales of Suspense, number 53, because that's worth about $10,000 in mint condition. But this is from actually where I'm building the Iron Man, thanks to Fanhome. But near as I can tell, that is what this is from. It's the Tales of Suspense era, so this would be like the late 50s, early 60s. And it makes for a very retro feel for Iron Man. It's definitely a throwback to an era long before nanomachines and long before Marvel was even a profitable property. So it's certainly a cool piece. If you were a fan of Iron Man, I could see hanging this on your wall and having it be a real conversation piece. Just like the Dungeons & Dragons one, I imagine it's another one that's going to get a lot of fingertips on it. It does have that same texture throughout, even the comic pieces that you see, the panels on the side, graphic novels if you're sensitive about those kind of things. But you have that kind of raised feeling on all of this, and I'll get you a closer look here in just a moment. But let's flip this over and take a look at the Displate QR code to see what else this has hiding underneath. I brought up the website for Displate because I just wanted to show you all the things that they do offer. For Marvel, they have 1,753 artworks. For Elden Ring, 16. Cyberpunk 2077, 233 of them. Dungeons & Dragons, 254. Dune, 116. Call of Duty, 275. Middle-earth, 120. DC Comics, 1,402. Alien, 77. Halo, 124. The Wizarding World, 320. Avatar: The Last Airbender, 58. The Witcher 3, 146. Destiny, 73. Dark Souls, 20. And League of Legends at 144. All of these Displates are completely unique, and they're licensed properties, so you know that they're official, and they're marked. On the back, you can see that there's a seal of authenticity, so you know that what you've got is legit, and that the artists involved are getting compensated. As I mentioned before, these Textra plates are completely unique in the marketplace. Sure, you can go out to a print shop like Kinko's and have something printed from Artgerm or whomever, or you can have something printed on canvas. But these are unique. These Textra plates are meant to be touched. That tactile experience of putting your hands on a piece of artwork like this, there's just nothing else like it. And that doesn't just mean it's got to be geeky artwork. Certainly you're going to have somebody in your life that is not into Marvel or Dungeons & Dragons or whatever. Maybe it's mom, upcoming Mother's Day gift. I know that seems weird, but Displate has a number, that number is large, of plates that are not licensed properties. They're ones that they've worked with artists to bring to life. There's some really cool Cthulhu stuff. If it's like my mom, she's all into that. If it's your mom, she might like some of the more flowery stuff that they have on the page. And I'll scroll a few of these through as we go through. So when you're starting to think about what can I get that person, I just never know what to get them. This is a perfect gift for that because it's completely unique. I guarantee you they don't have anything like this in their house, and they're gonna thank you for it. So think of whatever upcoming holiday, and you've got one coming up really soon with Mother's Day, and take a look at the Displates. You just might find something really cool and really unique for mom. Now, we've been talking about the Textra versions of these, but that's actually not your only option. There were two additional surprises from Displate that I had to uncover. The first was the price. Now, I can't imagine what scenario this would happen, but if you wanted one of these printed as a simple matte printout, that's to say back to paper, you can do that. Displate will happily print you a print of this in matte for $49. Now, if you want it to be glossy, well, that's going to be an additional $10. So again, you could have this in a glossy for $59. Now, moving to these Textra plates, you would figure the move to stainless steel and the magnetic mounting system would make it significantly more expensive, right? Well, not so much. These cost $69. So for an additional $10 on top of what the glossy would cost you, you can have this completely tactile print and something completely unique. But hold on a second. Let's suppose for just a second you bought this, you got it in your house and you're like, you know, it's just not what I expected. Maybe the colors aren't what you thought they were, or maybe it just doesn't match your gaming area as much as you thought it might. Well, that's the other surprise. Displate offers a 100-day money-back guarantee. So if you are not happy with what you've purchased, you can send it back and they will refund 100% of everything that you paid into it right back to you. So frankly, at that point, there's no risk whatsoever. Pretty cool when somebody stands behind their product that way. Frankly, there probably isn't a geeky pursuit that Displate doesn't cover. And if they don't cover it today, they probably will tomorrow. And even if you're not into all of that, they also offer a number of commissioned pieces that are simply beautiful to behold. So whether you're thinking about for your own geeky space or you're trying to think of some unique gift for somebody special in your life, it's kind of hard to argue with these. I'm Ron Burke, Editor-in-Chief for Gamingtrend.com. Stay safe out there, keep it geeky. We'll see you again real soon.